Hi, I'm Peter Kalmstrom of kalmstrom.com Business Solutions. In this demonstration, I'll talk you through a PowerShell script that I used for the SharePoint Saturday Stockholm. I used that to create and recreate a site collection and also to remove it if it was already existing beforehand, and keep track of my content databases also. Make sure I don't clutter up my content databases. So the first thing I do here is input the name of the site collection that I want, the URL to that site collection, and the URL to the web app in which it will be hosted, which is the same in this case. I'm also going to enter the name of the content database and the owner of the site collection, as well as the SQL server where my content database is to be stored. Then I'm adding the Microsoft SharePoint PowerShell snap-in, which allows me to work with SharePoint objects through PowerShell. And if that has already been added, I ignore that error. Then I get the web application that has the identity of the web app URL that I supplied above. And then I loop through all the site collections in that web application. And if one has the same title as the one I'm creating, I remove that SP site, that site collection. Then I create the content database. And first I want to remove if there is already a content database with this database name. So I go through all the content databases and check if one of them has the same name, and in that case I remove that content database. Then I'm creating the new content database at the database server I supply, and the database is connected to the web application, web app that I got before here. And then I'm creating the site collection, and I'm creating that in the content database that I just created, and I'm using the STS-0 template, which is the regular team site. If I was doing a Swedish site collection, I could supply the language for that too, but as you see, I've commented that one out. Then I'm getting the site collection that I just created and enabling the publishing infrastructure on that site collection, and I'm also enabling the SharePoint publishing on the root web of the site collection. Notice that I'm looking for the publishing site feature here with a compatibility level of 15. That means that I'm using the SharePoint 2013 one. If you want to use this script for SharePoint 2010, you need to change this to 14. And same thing down here, of course. Alright, and if you don't want the publishing infrastructure enabled, you can just comment or remove these lines of script. Or, of course, if you don't have the enterprise version of SharePoint, because only the server and enterprise version of SharePoint has the publishing infrastructure features. Finally, I'm getting the root web of the site collection and setting the title of that root web to the name that I got before here, SharePoint Saturday, and then I'm creating the default associated groups, and the owner of those groups would be the site collection owner. And then I'm updating the root web, and finally I'm setting the number of site collections that are possible in this content database to 1. And at the very end here, I'm starting Internet Explorer to actually go to the site. I actually have Internet Explorer running here. I'm going to close that down so you can see that everything goes according to plan. And now I'm just going to run this script. This takes a few seconds now. Now I get the confirmation that you really want to remove the content database. Yes, I do. Now it's creating the content database again. And there the content database has been created. And now it's creating the site collection. And there we're doing the publishing infrastructure. And there it span away rather quickly. I've got the publishing enabled, and then I created the security groups, and finally the content database. And as you see in the end there, the Internet Explorer popped up. And here is my Internet Explorer with the new site. All new created. Thank you for watching this demonstration.